Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Okay guys, so first up I'm gonna go in with my Nivea body lotion. You guys know I love this stuff. I use it every time before my makeup. So you guys, today I actually wanted to just sit down and chat because I feel like everyone that is around me, doesn't matter what age they are, but especially people my age group, and of course I'm speaking for people in my age group, I feel like we are more or less going through the same thing. And I just wanted to have like a sit down conversation, just to, I don't know, I won't say to motivate because I'm not trying to motivate, but like just to be more like upfront and apparent. Maybe me talking about this is gonna help someone else. It's definitely gonna help me because this is something that I struggle with, something that if I talk about it with you guys, it's gonna make me feel better, and maybe someone else might be going through the same thing. Okay, so without like sounding too evasive for too long, I wanted to talk about the pressure that we have as like young people for succeeding. And you guys, this is not only for people who are trying to make it as influencers or people who are trying to make it like in the social media world. I feel like this is something that I know for a fact like 90% of the people in my age group are going through, whether it's just with your career or with trying to establish a career like in the corporate world, or it's like the people that like are nano micro influencers trying to make it into like breakthrough into the industry. Okay, for one, if you guys don't know, I'm 28 years old. I'm turning 29 in January very soon. And okay, first up, I'm not sure which foundation to use today between these two. I like this one because I feel like it's more full coverage, but I also like this one because it's so easy to blend. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, if you guys didn't watch the video of me reviewing this foundation, I'm gonna link it down below. Okay, so I was saying, you guys, I'm 29 years old, right? And if you guys don't know, I'm gonna try to be like as frank as possible in this video so that you guys can really understand where I'm coming from. If you guys don't know, I stay in a house. I'm sharing a house with this other guy. It's not my house, it's not his house either. We are both renting it from someone, and I'm like paying for a room, right? I'm 28 years old, about to be 29. Now, I'm very grateful because I know I have a good job, but to me, that on its own, I feel like I already feel like a failure somehow. I know it might sound like I'm being too harsh on myself, but honestly speaking, that's how I feel. I genuinely feel like I am not doing well in life. Okay, so another factor which I feel like will help you guys understand where I'm coming from. I don't have a car. I stay in this one room. I have a pretty decent job. I studied for civil engineering, and that was back, I left high school, like I finished my high school in, sorry you guys, I'm just gonna let the airplane pass. So you guys, I'm saying that I studied civil engineering, and even though I have a good job, I have a pretty decent job, but it's not what I studied for. And I finished my matric back in 2010, and we are currently in 2021. I finished studying for my diploma in 2014, and I recently finished doing my BTech like last year. But ever since I finished with my diploma, I never managed to get a job in the field that I studied in. Okay, maybe something to note, I wasn't really interested in working in the field, but there's never been a time when I didn't try to get a job. Okay, so even though at first I was certain that, you know what, I don't want to be in civil engineering, but I still applied because it's what I studied for. And if I'm going to be doing what I'm doing right now, which is something that I do not love, I might as well be doing something else that I don't love where I can get more money, right? I feel like that makes much more sense. But still, I wasn't able to get a job in the field that I studied in. And another factor that you guys need to probably be aware of is that I have been doing YouTube since 2017. I'm currently on 600 and something subscribers, which I'm so grateful for. If you guys are watching and you subscribe, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. But if we're being realistic, I feel like that's a long time for me to only accumulated 600 and something subscribers. I haven't even hit 1K, you know. So if you put all these factors on the table, I feel like you guys can understand why I would feel like I'm not really doing well at this life thing, you know. And I might be laughing about it right now, but honestly, you guys, sometimes I sit in bed like very early in the morning. This usually hits me like very early in the morning, and it's usually when I'm like PMSing, you know. Sometimes like during that time we get really emotional. More times than not, we are like thinking about like, oh my gosh, my life is terrible, or whatever the case might be. Other people are maybe emotional in other aspects, but I feel like for me, like the one thing that I do struggle with is like where I am in life. So I feel like whenever I'm PMSing, that's like the one thing that I do struggle with. And like I'm saying, it would hit me like so early in the morning when I'm like lying in bed. So I was saying it would hit me like so early in the morning when I'm like still in bed, I'm about to get ready for work, or maybe like I have like 15 minutes before I need to get up and get ready for work, and I'll just be sitting there or lying there and feeling so much like a failure, you guys. And at first, like, I really thought that was just unique to myself. Like, genuinely, I thought it was just me going through all the things that I'm going through because of all the factors that I just pointed out to you guys. And then this one time last year, I spoke to a friend of mine. I was like, oh, I'm not doing well. Like, I feel like I'm struggling a lot lately. And then my friend was like, you know what, just come over to my place and we can just talk, you know. And I was like, okay, that's nice. I went over, like I had a sleepover with her, and I was just sharing with her how much I feel like I'm not doing well. I feel like such a failure in life. Like, I can't seem to achieve anything that I put my mind up to. And like, I put in the work and I feel like I'm not getting the results that I feel like I firstly deserve, or I feel like even without deserving it, like if I'm putting in this much work, I mean, surely something must come out of it, right? Whether it be me trying to get a new job, or me like trying to gain more subscribers, or me trying to achieve whatever thing that I'm trying to achieve. And my friend just sat me down and was like, you know what, friend, like, you are literally not the only person who's going through this. She was like, I just spoke to like my other friend who's like a mutual friend, and she's also going through the same thing. I mean, I'm also going through the same thing. Like, think about my situation, there's this, there's that. Like, and after she spoke to me, not only did I feel better because she tried to show with me that like I'm not the only person who's going through this, like everyone is going through that, but it also made me realize how blessed I am in the things that I actually do have, you know. And I just thought to myself, you know what, I actually need to try and be like more grateful of like the things that I'm like, the things that I have, the things that I have like attained, all my achievements. And then it lasted for about a month, and then when the next PMS session came through the following month, I was back in the same square, you know, same situation of me feeling like crap and all this stuff. So I thought maybe, like, this was last year obviously, and for the longest time this year I wasn't suffering from it. And like suddenly, like I think maybe about a month back, I started like going through the same thing again, of me like questioning myself if I'd ever be like successful at any of the things that I want to achieve, like if I'd ever like make my parents proud in the way that I want to make them proud and all this stuff. And then I think like a week back, no, not like sometime this week, I was speaking to like someone in my life, and they were telling me about how someone else that they know is struggling, about not doing well and all this and that. And I was like, you know what, this is such a common thing amongst our age group. Like every single person, if okay, not every single person, but like most of us are really struggling with where we are in life. And I have to say, I feel like social media plays such a huge role in that. It might be that like it's very possible that other people who are in our age group who are not on social media that are also going through the same thing. Like I said, it's not only unique to the people trying to make it in the like content creation world, but I feel like people sorry, even people in the corporate world, they're going through so much, like young people like us. So I'm saying that it's possible that like there are people out there who are not on social media, who don't see everyone like looking so successful, looking so happy, looking like they're all living their best lives. Like it's possible there are people out there who aren't exposed to this each and every day, that are not going through what we're going through, where they feel like they're not doing well in life. Like maybe they're content with where they are in life. Like maybe they feel like they are achieving their goals. Maybe they feel like they are living the best lives possible, you know? But also, I do feel like that there are people, even without the influence of social media, who are feeling like they maybe not doing well. Maybe they're not achieving their goals at the rate at which they wish that they did, you know? So, I just thought that, I don't know, I wanted to come on here and just remind everyone that first, I don't want to go into like that whole speech like, oh, whatever we see on social media, it's not real, because honestly I don't know. Like I feel like the people that I see on social media, which I feel like, oh my gosh, they're having such like, not necessarily a great life, but they're achieving their career goals. I feel like they really are achieving their career goals, you know? So I don't want to be here and be like, oh no, social media is not real life, because I don't really envy people's lives. Like for me personally, like that's not something that I do. I'm not envious of like their lives, or if they go on holiday. I don't really care about that. But I do feel like a failure when I'm seeing people who are doing what I'm trying to break into, and they're getting brand deals and sponsorships and such things. And that part is actually quite real. I don't think like people are faking that, you know? So, which is why I'm saying I don't want to get into that speech of like, no, social media is not real, this, and that. But I do want to get into a conversation where I'm like, sometimes we are so hard on ourselves. And I know like I'm one of the first people who are very hard on myself. I know this for a fact. And fortunately, I have people around me who are like so supportive, who always remind me of all the things that I achieved, and they help me like feel better. But we are so hard on ourselves, and I feel like nowadays all we ever do is just rush for the next goal. We're like always pushing one goal, we achieve, we go on to the next one, go on to the next one, we go on to the next one. And like it's as though we don't even take time to just relax and actually reflect on how far we've come. Like personally, me, like if I just talk about myself, like when I'm thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm not doing well, I'm such a failure, this and that, I forget of all these other things that I've achieved, that I've actually been praying for, you know? And there's like this quote that's going around on social media talking about like, don't forget that you are currently like along the lines though, like don't forget that you are currently where you used to pray for. Okay, I don't know the actual quote, but I'm gonna like link it, where it's talking about basically like currently you are in a situation that you once used to pray for. And for myself personally, I know for a fact that I used to pray for some of the things that I have now achieved. And the sad part about all of that is we never even give ourselves the chance to absorb that in. We don't give ourselves the chance to reflect and congratulate ourselves, you know, like be happy in that moment and be like, oh my gosh, I achieved this. Because we always like, for me anyway, I'm always like on social media seeing the next person like with another achievement that I'm hoping for, but then I'm not really giving myself the time to soak in this current achievement that I am in. And I feel like it takes a lot for a person to be grounded, especially like I'm gonna speak for myself again. It takes a lot for a person to be like be grounded and with your feet firm on the ground and just know exactly where you're headed without feeling the pressure of everyone else around you. in like this space of social media and content creation. Because honestly, like, there are so many of us trying to achieve the same thing. Obviously not all of us want the exact same thing, but there's so many of us who want like something similar to this. Like, we all want to be successful, we all want to get to a point where we reach like 100k, 1 million. So I was saying that we all want to like reach 100k or 1 million subscribers. We all want to have brand sponsorships. We all want to either get that promotion at work if you're in the corporate world. We all want to be making enough money to afford going on holiday. We all want to be making enough money to get ourselves a car, get a house, get a nice apartment. We all want to make enough money to take care of our families. We all want to make enough money to make our parents proud, whether it be like siblings proud or whoever in your life that you want to make proud. We are all in those situations. It doesn't necessarily have to be just the people in the corporate world. And sometimes if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all the work, okay, let's say you in the corporate world, like, okay, I'm going to school, I'm upskilling myself, I'm getting a new diploma, whatever the case might be, but I'm still not getting further in my career. We all go through such things, and I feel like it's just so hard to be firm on the ground and realize that, okay, right now it might be that person's time to achieve whatever it is that they're achieving in their life, but it's not my time yet. And to just truly believe that God will like grant you and bless you with all these things that you really want in your life when the time is right. You know, I know for a fact myself, I struggle with that so much. And sometimes I just feel for the people in my life, like when they have to constantly be like, no, Nelly, come on, what are you talking about? You're doing so well. And I'm just like, they say, no, I'm not doing well. Like, I posted a video, it didn't even reach 100 views, this. And they'll be like, no, yeah, maybe that video didn't reach 100 views, but then you have so many other videos which are doing so well, this and that. Like, I feel sorry for them, but also in the same breath, in that moment, I would be really feeling terrible. Like, I'll be feeling like crap. Like, and it wouldn't be a case of me just wanting attention. I'd truly be feeling that way, you know? And I just feel like we just need to be kinder to ourselves, honestly. Like, I feel like I am trying everything that I can to make a promise to myself that from now on, I'm just genuinely going to be kinder to myself. And I wish, like, people would speak to other people with these struggles, because I feel like that's one way in, like, I feel like people could just speak to other people about their struggles, because I feel like that's one of the easiest ways to make yourself feel better. Because the minute that you speak to someone that you trust about whatever it is that you're going through, it is so easy for that person to like change your mind about how you're feeling and just show you how blessed you are. Like, when I speak to my family members, or I speak to my friends, or I speak to my boyfriend about all the stuff that I'm going through, like, they honestly try their best to make me feel better. And instantly they'll be like, no man, don't feel like that, you're doing so well, you're achieving so much, this and that. Like, just last year alone you achieved this and that. And then you look back and you're like, okay, yeah, I did achieve all of that stuff last year, but then why is that I'm still feeling like a failure? And I think the root problem of everything is just comparison. Honestly, it's like the worst thing ever. And it's quite embarrassing if you're being honest, but it's comparison. Like, that's truly the only reason why we as young people are living a life of unhappiness and just constantly feeling like we're failures when we are doing so much. I feel like the young people of nowadays are achieving so much. Like, if we compare ourselves to our parents definitely worked harder. I feel like our parents worked harder, but we also work hard, but I feel like we are achieving way more than they did at our age, just in general. I'm not speaking specifically to myself, because I feel like I haven't not yet. I feel like I haven't. Okay, no, you know what, this is what the problem is right now. You see, I'm doing it in front of you guys. Like, I'm trying to come on here and be like positive and motivational, but I can't even apply it to myself. Okay, so I feel like we are currently achieving way more than our parents did. Like if we look at our generation and how much we have managed to be, we are like, I feel like we're thriving in terms of like progression, you know, like we are thriving in terms of progression and in terms of like making our mark in the world. But for our parents, maybe it might have been hard because of restrictions and apartheid and lack of opportunities, like, and such things. But I feel like we're doing a great job. Like like our generation has so many graduates. Just things like I feel like one of the basic things, we have so many graduates. Yeah, some of us might be unemployed, it's true, but like it just shows how much we are working hard. You know, we are going to school, we're putting in the hours, we're doing all these things for ourselves, and it's incredible. You know, not only that, so many young people have businesses. Like it's not like we are broadening our spectrum of like entrepreneurship. It's not only just now, okay, I'm gonna start a business in my community. There's social media, there are different things that we're starting, like different areas where we're starting business, and it's impressive. And I feel like we just don't give ourselves like enough credit, you know, even if you're not necessarily like an entrepreneur, or you don't have multiple streams of income. Even if you just get one, if you have one job and you focus on that, I feel like we give ourselves such a hard time, and we don't acknowledge how much of a good job we're doing, you know. And I'm gonna start with myself. I should be able to tell myself like once in a while that, Nilsa, I'm very proud of you for everything that you have achieved. It's hard considering the fact that I feel like I still want to achieve more. But then me saying that to myself is not a ticket for me to start lazing around. No, it's not. But it's rather confirmation for me to just be grateful of how far I've come, and also use that as motivation to think to myself, okay, so if I have achieved this much in maybe the past year, so in the next year I can achieve just as much, if not more, you know. So when I'm saying like, okay, maybe we should be like nicer to each other, and maybe a bit more, not to each other necessarily, but to ourselves, we should be nicer to ourselves, and maybe a bit more lenient, and a bit more grateful about everything that we've achieved. I'm not saying now we should just relax, and if I don't achieve something, be like, well, I've achieved all these things in the past, so I'm fine. No, it's not a ticket for that. It's more of like, if you see someone else who you're comparing yourself to, even if you don't know the person, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing well. No, don't do that. Just realize that you are doing the best that you can, and realize that when your time comes, you are going to achieve all the things that you put the work into, you know. And another factor that's very important is just to remember to put in all the work, you know. Sometimes as people, we feel sorry for ourselves in the moment, you know, and we start slacking because we're just feeling like crap. But I feel like it's so important for us to talk this talk about, oh my gosh, I want this, but to also back it up with the work. We shouldn't just be in a situation where we're just complaining, feeling sorry for ourselves, and saying, oh my gosh, I haven't achieved this, I haven't achieved that, but you're really hardly not putting it into work, you know. Like, I feel like, no, that just does not make sense, you know. If maybe I don't post any videos for like 2 months straight, and then I complain about, oh my gosh, my subscribers aren't growing in the 2 months, I feel like that does not make sense whatsoever. I should be able to post and do all the work that's required, be on social media, even as hard as it is. If you guys watched one of my previous videos where I was actually doing a chit chat get ready with me, I was talking about how I don't like social media. Like, I'm not really an Instagram person, and as much as I'm not an Instagram person, but I'm really trying to grow my Instagram, you know, because I understand that for the dreams that I want to achieve, or the goals that I have for myself, Instagram is an integral part of that. I need to be accessible on social media. I need to have a following on social media in order for brands to want to work with me. So what do I have to do? I have to just take it on the chin and just go ahead. Even if I don't want to post what I'm doing, I have to just try to find a way to familiarize myself with that life of just always posting stories, snapping, because it just doesn't make sense then, you know. It doesn't make sense for me to be complaining and talking about, oh my gosh, this and that, I'm not getting this, I'm not doing that, but I'm not putting in the work that's required in order for me to achieve that, you know. And another thing that I heard is that sometimes as people, we feel so entitled to achieving things. I know it's very hard to hear, because even I myself will be like, if I'm putting in all this work and I've been doing this for years, I mean, surely at this point there should be something, right? And I feel like that's the part where we act entitled to things. And the truth is, no one owes us anything. Just because you're putting in the work, it does not necessarily mean like people owe to follow you. If you post a video, no one owes to subscribe to my channel, no one owes to interact with me. I can just hope that the people would do that, you know, but no one actually has to do that. Like, we shouldn't feel entitled to success. I know it's very hard, but we can do our best that we can do and pray and hope that really that's something that God has in store for us. Like, we can pray and hope that, okay, if I put in this much work and I do my due diligence, hopefully something will come out of it, you know. But actually no one owes us anything. And I feel like that's the saddest part about everything. Like, we can do everything, but if it's not meant to be, it just is not meant to be, you know. So I just wanted to come on here, you guys, and just talk about that and just help. I don't know, you guys, I didn't have a plan. Like, I didn't have a plan to motivate or anything like that. I didn't have like a plan on like motivating or anything like that. I just wanted to have a conversation, like I'm having a conversation with my friend or something, you know, and just talk about how crappy I feel sometimes, and talk about how sometimes, more often than not, I feel like I'm not doing well in life, and just let you guys know, if you're out there and you are struggling with any part of your life that you feel like you're not doing well in, just know we're all out here, girl or guy. Like, we are all out here feeling like, yeah, ne, like literally we are all out here feeling like, yeah, hi. You know, you guys, like, I just wanted to say that to everyone that's watching this video. Like, just please, just keep it going. If you feel demotivated, do not give up. You are probably way closer to whatever it is that you want to achieve than you think. Like, don't give up. Just be grateful. Like, think of all the blessings that you have in your life. Think about your good health. Think about the fact that you even have dreams. You know, like, you guys, there are people out there that don't even dream. There are people out there that just don't even give themselves the chance to reach for the stars. They're just like, no, like, it's not for me. I'm probably not going to achieve it. Like, there are people that genuinely don't even believe that they can achieve anything. They're like truly people that don't believe that they can achieve anything. And it's so sad, you guys. It's so sad. They probably don't think like it's like they have it within them to achieve anything that they want to achieve. Okay, so I'm going to bring you guys closer. Yeah. They probably don't think like they have it within them to achieve anything in this life. They probably feel like they don't have the resources to even try anything, you know. So why even bother? I mean, I don't have the resources to try anything. Like, let's say maybe there's someone out there who really like feel like they have a great personality, they can be great on YouTube or on TikTok or social media just in general, but maybe they don't have a good phone, or they don't have a camera, or they just don't even have the confidence, which is something else that I feel like plays a huge role in my life. And but I'm gonna get into that a bit later on. You know, like they feel like they don't have like the confidence, and then it's just a matter of like, you know what, I'm not even gonna try. No, I'm not even gonna bother because I know I'm gonna be too scared to speak or whatever it is. And speaking of confidence, you guys, I feel like confidence is really affected by like how we see ourselves or how we view the world, and especially overthinking. I know it's something that we most likely all suffer from. Like overthinking situation can be so dangerous for your progress in life. Overthinking can hold you back so much. I know this personally for myself. Like I overthink every single thing, and it just sucks that what I want to achieve means like a lot of people have to watch me and all these things, because I feel like that has held me back even more, because I'll be overthinking everything. I'll be like, if maybe I want to just show a little bit more of my personality, I'll be like, no, no one wants to see that, or no, I look stupid, or no, it looks like I'm trying so hard. Let me rather be just neutral. And that is, it's actually a huge problem for me anyway. There's so many things that I didn't try out because of overthinking, or like so many things I wouldn't do because I'm overthinking the situation. And I know from myself that confidence is very important. Like literally, confidence is one of the most important factors in life, and it has nothing to do with like which field you want to go into. Doesn't matter what you want to do, but whatever it is, you need to have confidence. You need to believe in like in yourself. You need to look at yourself and be like, you know what, I'm just that girl, and I know I can achieve anything that I want to achieve, and I'm gonna go at it full force. I'm not gonna hold back. And I also feel like it's important to remember that, you guys, that as much as we might think like we're not doing well, there's something about each and every one of us that someone out there wishes that they had. You know, if you're just trying to think of like, okay, what could I possibly be grateful for? Because I don't see anything I can be grateful for. Just think out there, there's literally a person that wishes that they had one thing that you have right now. Even if it's not anything materialistic, you know, even if it's just good health, even if it's just a job, whether you want the job that you have currently or you don't want it, there's someone out there who literally wishes that, you know what, I wish I had that job, because if I had that job, it will solve so many of my problems. If you guys do not know of like The Secret, it was like a really popular novelty, which was like on the Oprah Winfrey show and everything, where they're talking about how like the universe feeds off of like the energy that we give, and that's what it gives back to you, you know. So if you're like negative, or you're not like in a great space, or you feel like, oh, everything is going wrong, that's what the universe will give back to you, you know. Which is why they'd say, like they're saying, like that's why maybe if you feel like, like you wake up and something goes wrong, and then the second thing goes wrong, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is such a terrible day, and then you find that like for the rest of the day, like nothing is going well, you know. They're saying that's because like when you woke up and that one thing happened, you were already on the, oh my gosh, this is such a terrible day mood. Like you were on that mood, like, oh my gosh, this is such a terrible day mood. And because of that, it's like you were just giving off into the world or the universe that this is a terrible day, and you end up having or finding that the rest of the day is terrible. The secret says that when we wake up in the morning, we should like be grateful, and like gratefulness is the base of all good things. So if you're grateful and you're happy, you feel like you're in a great space, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this or for that, then the universe will give you more things, you know, like you'll get blessed with more things. So that's why you find out like that whole thing of like the 5-minute journal, where like you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you do is you write down what you're most grateful for, and people say it's changed their lives, this and that. So maybe we can all just start practicing that, like, you know, maybe you don't necessarily have to wake up first thing in the morning and like write it in your journal if you're not a journal person, but like you can just use that as a reminder to yourself, like, okay, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, each and every time when you're going through something. Because I honestly wish like I had just sit down and bought something to eat and just talk about this instead of doing my makeup, because it's distracting me a lot. I should have just sat down and eat something. Okay, so you guys, a little update. You guys remember I told you that I got in. I think you guys, that's pretty much it that I wanted to say regarding that topic. Like, honestly, let's try to just be more grateful in life. Let's try not to compare ourselves. Let's try not to look at the next person and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing well. Because 9 times out of 10 you find that you are actually doing well, but you're just comparing yourself to the next person, you know, or you see someone else that has something that you want, and because of that you're like, oh my gosh, I mean, I feel like I also qualify to get it. Then you get yourself upset over that. So let's just try to be more positive, you guys, kinder to ourselves. Remember that when the time is right, your time will come. We are not entitled to success, and dreams without work are just that, dreams, you know. It's not a plan. We can all make it, we can all succeed if we just put our minds to it, but not necessarily in the way that we see success is, you know. Oftentimes we take the definition of success like from someone else, like, oh okay, someone else has made it in this way, so that must be success, but not necessarily. We just need to understand what success means for yourself. So let's just maybe keep that in mind.